Okay, so this is going to be the first of 3 videos talking about strategies for implementing your midterm project. Okay, so this first project is going to be the extension of HighCard. Now, in addition to Java comments, you're going to want to, along with all the other information, you're going to want to maintain good comments throughout, including commenting this method here with Java. And now comes the challenge. So to start out, this is based on the deck and card classes that have been provided to you on the Haiku page. And if you'd like to go through and have a look at how they're put together, you can have a look here. So pause the video, go through, have a look, see what's there. Now in deck, there is a bug, which is there so that people can fix it. And it has to do with reshuffling certain things. But this is the deck class that you'll be using. And of particular importance is the get cards remaining method. So if you were to go here into HighCard and say d.get cards remaining, and let's say I print this out, well, that should give me back some numbers, some integer value. And if I were to run this, I'd see that at the start I have 52 cards remaining. After I draw 2 cards, how many should I have left? 50. And so that would go on and on and on. And I guess the general idea would be, well, when do I want to know first where to loop through to get 2 different sort of outcomes, one of them being looping through until the player says, I want to play again, or have the option to quit. And the other one is the looping through until my deck is empty. Well, at the start, I probably want to have a loop that says play again, right? And that could just be a while true or while playing here. And that would be encompassing my whole program practically. And we'll look at how to remove that in a bit. Another thing might be to implement a loop saying, okay, well, every time I want to draw cards, I should do another loop. So there's going to be a loop here until my deck is empty. Okay, and so there's a loop here until my deck is empty. And where's that going to end? Well, it's also going to end down here. And so what's going to happen is, and this is my end of my game loop. So I would put an end brace here, a start brace here, and the condition that I'm looking for is it's definitely going to be a while loop. Well, the deck has cards, and what does that look like? Well, we know that d.get cards remaining tells me how many cards I have, and as long as that's bigger than 0, then my condition should be fulfilled. As soon as it hits 0, well, my deck is empty. I try to draw, I might get an error. And anyway, my game is over then. I've drawn cards in pairs, compared them, and then maybe I've added to my win counter and my lose counter. So if I were to go here, I have a double thing right here. This would be low card. Now we have high card here. And I might say if player 1 wins, player 1 wins plus plus. So I'm increasing my win counter, which is defined up here. And I might do the same thing here. And otherwise it's a tie. And so now I'm keeping track of my wins. Now the question is, where would I put a bet? Well, to start, I'd have to put a bet, probably, I would say, at least a wallet up here. And let's say I start with $1,000. And every time I play the game, I want to bet on the next outcome. So this integer stays permanent, at least in terms of not disappearing, as long as it's outside of this while loop. And it doesn't get reset. So if I go in here, now I can start saying, okay, well, maybe I need a scanner out here too. And now I need to make a choice after I import this. Okay, there we go. Well, the choice is, okay, so I want to make a bet. Maybe my betting is going to be something like, oh, well, after the end of every cycle through the deck, I'll make a bet on who has more wins and who has more losses. Now, this is just random chance, but let's see what happens. So first, I'll say do you want to bet on yourself? If so, enter a positive number. And scan.next int. And so in this case, do you want to bet on yourself? If so, enter a positive number. If not, enter a 0 or a negative number. So 0 presumably is going to be what you'd use if you don't want to bet at all. And a negative number would be if you want to bet on someone else, the other player. So this is sort of a simple thing. And around here, you can definitely put error checking. And I'm going to let you implement that. And so the loop is going to look something like this. Open, and down here where I've indicated, we close it. Okay, so while we have cards left, we'll do this. And then after this, we'll say if statements and input to confirm playing again. And I'll let you implement that as well. Plenty of other projects have that. So the last thing is I need something here to say if player 1 wins. Well, regardless, player 1 wins is greater than player 2 wins, and obviously the spacing is off here. Then we want to add our bet to our wallet. And then otherwise, subtract the bet from the wallet. And this works because if they don't bet, nothing changes with the wallet. If they bet on the other person, it gets subtracted if they win. because it's a negative number, or add it if they lose, because it's a negative minus a negative is a positive, or a negative basically times a negative is a positive. But in this case, it's effectively adding the negative number. From subtracting negative 7, it's the same as adding 7. And basically, that's sort of the whole program. I'm not going to implement the whole thing because that's your job. But you've seen sort of the types of things that you can do here. Right now, I'll run this. It'll go forever. Let's say 8. And, I go through all of these. And you might want to have some output of total player 1 wins and total player 1 losses here. But you notice it'll start over again. It'll print all the cards out, and then it'll start over. So formatting is important, and making sure all of your output is good is important. But the main structures I've just shown right here. So good luck, and work hard.